So hello guys, welcome back to another video. So today's video we are going to talk about some of the things that are very important for nurses and those who are preparing to do exams next what? Next month. We are already in Aga in September and September is almost gone. So this one is for those who are planning to do MCK in November, yes? Not even only those who are planning to do NCK in November. Generally, I want to talk about tips for passing nursing exam. You know what? People usually say that nursing is very hard. Yes, it is not easy because you have to dedicate your life, you have to dedicate yourself, you have to dedicate your mind, you have to dedicate everything for that career. So it is not always easy, but it is manageable. Anybody can just attempt and pass. So I want to tell you some of the tips of passing your exams, not only for NCK or college final, but also when you are still in school and you are still doing all these semester exams. So number one, you have to know, number one, you have to read in between the lines. Don't just read like you are reading a paragraph. Read between the lines, because most of MCQs usually, the teachers or the lecturers usually extract them from those things that you assume that cannot be they cannot set. So make sure you read in between the lines. Don't just read and then you go and sleep. If somebody asks you whatever you have read just now, you cannot answer anything. Read between the line and you will get easy. You will pass your exams easily. I mean, that is what I wanted to say. The next thing that you have to know or you have to do is revise many questions as much as possible. When you are after reading in between the lines, make sure you revise so many questions, many questions, past papers, books, everything that is revisable for that semester or for particular exam that you are going to do. Make sure you revise all these questions, especially MCQs. They don't always set these MCQs. Sometimes there are no MCQs, there are no new MCQs that you will. If you revise all these questions, you will get that most MCQs are usually extracted from the past papers. So invest your time in revising questions, past questions, papers, and especially MCQs. Focused on that. Apart from about short answer question and long answer question, maybe the teacher can change about something, but MCQs, in fact, those lecturers, they usually don't have times to go and start reading the whole book and for them to extract another MCQs. They usually take those past papers and just copy paste them the way they are in the past papers. So make sure you revise all those questions. Especially I'm insisting about MCQs, because you will never get a new MCQs. Maybe it can come one or two, but it is rare. So revise all those past papers questions, especially MCQs. Another thing that you have to do is you have to be keen, especially when the lecturers are explaining the topics and all those subtopics, or when they are teaching about all those units. You have to be keen, you have to concentrate in class. You have to, even if you the time you are doing your revisions, you have to be keen. Don't be someone who is like joking. When people are doing something serious concerning the education, you are just joking, making jokes. Be keen and make sure you attend all the lessons and participate in class. The next thing about long answer questions, most of the questions, they will come like discuss, describe, discuss, describe, state. Make sure you don't leave a question without you writing anything in those papers, in those answer sheets. Write anything. If they've said discuss, most of the time the questions they usually bring in long answer question, there's things that maybe you have a clue on them, especially if you're someone who usually read. Don't be a joker, in fact. Don't be a joker. Read and make sure at least you have clue of at least everything that they are going to set. So most of these long answer questions, you will get that you always have a clue. Some people are just lazy. They don't want to answer. You leave it without an attempt. They deduct your marks. They give you a 0 on that particular questions, and then you fail, and then you start saying nothing is difficult. It is not always difficult. Just make sure that if they have said the question, mostly long answer question have said, they usually come discuss anything you know about that question. If they have given you maybe discuss about pathophysiology of pneumonia. You don't know even the definition of pneumonia. You have to know about the definition of pneumonia. You have to know signs and symptoms. You have to know diagnosis. You have to know how it comes about. So those are the things you will write. Don't be someone who is lazy, doesn't want to even think in an exam room. You finish your exam within 30 minutes, and then you get that you're going to fail. Things that you maybe, if it was 5 marks, you could have gotten even 3 marks. Yeah? So take note on that. Make sure you don't leave a question without answer, and at least write something. Another thing that you have to do all the MCQs questions, and don't skip a question that you don't know. Don't skip a question. Don't ever skip a question, because if you skip a question in nursing, you skip a question, they take the total marks that you've for example, you skipped a question of 20 marks and you've gotten 60%, or let me say 70%, or let me say you have scored even 50%. They will deduct 10 marks, and if they deduct 10 marks, automatically you will fail. Yeah? So you see the point that I was saying, you answer all the questions, you don't skip, and then nursing will be easy for you. Another thing that you have to do for you to pass an exam in nursing specifically, invest in group discussion. Group discussion, invest your time on that. Most of the time, we get that if you do personal studies, you concentrate for about 30 minutes, 1 hour if you go longer, and then the remaining hours, if you wanted to study for 3 hours, you cannot. The concentration will keep on diminishing. The concentration will keep on diminishing, and then you will get that the only first 30 minutes is what you maybe that is those are the minutes you read something very important. So invest your time in group discussion. It will help. Another thing that you also have to do, you have to do your personal discussion. Personal studies, not personal discussion. Do your personal studies, because there are those things that they will say in the group, in class, and maybe you did not capture it well, or you did not understand. You have to go and sit down. You have to go and sit down, revise it even 20 times if you cannot understand it in just one reading. Revise it 20 times, 30 times, even 100 times, so long as you understand and it's thick. So as you also do your group discussion, make sure you also do what? You do your personal studies, but I've said invest your time in group discussion. Another thing that you have to do, know your capability. Don't compete with any person or anybody in your class. Yeah? At long last, you only need a pass. You only need a pass. Even if you get distinction, credit, but the most important thing, you only need a pass. So don't compete with other people. Know your capability. What do I mean by saying that? You might get that in a class, there are those who, they usually capture it. They usually capture the concept when the lecturer is discussing. But you are such type of a person who must sit down, go read the concept, understand it, understand it a bit, and then you have to go, you have to go for a group discussion. Also, then you also need to get some concept from that. So understand yourself. Don't, we have those people who they read it once, they stick it there forever. From first year to fourth year, it will never disappear in their head. But you are somebody who must keep on reading. You are such a person who must keep on reading each and every day. Don't lose hope. Appreciate that and invest in that. The more you read, the more you understand, the more it sticks. So don't compete with someone who get the concept when the lecturer is explaining. Don't compete with someone who they usually cram the concept when it is about 2 hours to an exam and they will pass. Don't compete with such. Know your capability and invest in that. I think those are some of the important things that you have to do for you to pass your exam when you're doing nursing course, specifically nursing course. If you're preparing to do your NCK, I wish you all the best. And if you are such kind of person who have just passed nursing council, congratulations to you. Welcome to the new field. Yeah, I think I will stop there. So bye till next time.